It's Tuesday. Yeah, I think it's Tuesday. I'm losing track of all days. I was feeling a little bored, and then I happened to glance over and see this frame, which is one of the first Couture projects I did when I received my first items. And I decided, okay, yeah, I do love it, but you know what? Let's change it up a bit. Just because. So I decided to change it up, and I'm going to use some Couture paste and my do what is right, not what is easy, which I think right now is extremely applicable because of course, we're being told to social distance, to stay home as much as possible, and that can be hard for people. So I just thought that would be a nice transfer to do, it's not one I've done in a little bit. So, all right, but first we have to get rid of this design. So all I am going to do is go nuts, spraying, and then I'm just gonna, because this has been there a while, it's gonna take a couple minutes to start lifting, which you might have seen, but it's still lifting, and this has been here since like early November. So the paste is never hard to remove. It's just a matter of spraying it with water, and I'm not even putting that much pressure on it either. So it's just a matter of spraying it with some water and wiping it away. Let me see if I can find a clean spot so I can pick up the... and just make sure I've got everything gone, and we do. So there we go. And then I'm just gonna dry it off. Oh, great. Now the reason I like this photo frame is because it doesn't have those like really annoying things you have to bend back and forth, because those things hurt. And I'm just gonna pop I'm gonna keep that scrapbook paper there just because I do like the simplicity of it, but also it's going to help me be able to see where my design is gonna go. And the one thing with glass out of picture frames is be extremely cautious. I cannot count the amount of times I've been working with photo frames and I'll just be going along, won't even feel anything. I'll look down and there's blood on my hand. And I don't know how it happened, but I'm assuming it's the edge of the frame. So I've got my transfer here, and I'm just gonna make sure that everything is good on the back, which there's one hair that I must have picked up last time. That is driving me up the wall. And then we're just gonna fuzz it, which is simply, I'm putting it on my pants and my sweater, and I'm just gonna make sure that is not gonna stick too hard to my design. And since I've already used it once before, it's not going to take as much to fuzz it, although that does need a little bit extra fuzzing. I'm going to do this in sections just to make life easier, and then my paste won't have as much time to dry. And then I'm just going to go about pressing it down, making sure that all the areas around the silk screen are tight. And I did already open these and stir them because the black and the green needed a little bit of water to make it the right consistency, and then the red was perfectly fine. So now I'm gonna use my black paste first, and I'm just gonna pick up some of the paste and I'm gonna drag that all over this first line. Then wipe off the excess, go back in and grab any excess that might be on there. And then I'm just going to put that there, and I'm going to lift this up, going from the edge. And what this is going to do is it's going to make it so that, and then I can basically just let it fall back, and because I didn't press down on it, it'll let me do bigger designs without worrying about the paste sticking to without the paste drying, and therefore making it won't work if the paste dries in the transfer. The other thing you can do, I've heard of but I haven't tried myself, is putting a damp, not wet, damp paper towel on top of the design that you just did, the section that you just put paste on, and that should keep it nice and damp enough that you can actually keep doing those larger transfers. Okay. Because we do have a couple of transfers that are quite, well, not a couple, we have several transfers that are much bigger, and so you need to either use this technique or do it in sections or use the paper towel technique. And then really quickly I'm going to grab this green and I'm going to do the right because I don't know, right and wrong just to me say green and red. What do they say to you? I'm just going to be careful not to get it in any part of this silk screen that I don't want it to, which I just need a little bit more of that green. Okay, and then again, I'm just gonna peel that up. And you can see here there's been a little bit of leakage because I probably didn't press down. And that comma really leaked. So obviously I didn't press down hard enough, but that is easy to fix. I'm just gonna take the paper towel I had earlier, and I'm going to just basically wipe away those areas where it did leak. And then if there's somewhere like on the letters where I feel it's too tight for me to get to, I'm just gonna let that dry, and then I'll use a toothpick and just basically scrape away whatever I don't want, which actually I can do right now. So when I'm going down onto the next line, I'm definitely gonna press that back down really tight on that section, just to make sure that I do get a perfect pull. And just to make sure that this doesn't happen to you, again, just make sure your transfer is really pressed down tightly, and make sure that you're not putting too much paste right on the silk screen. Usually try and put it to the side and then pull it over the design, and then again, just gonna let that lay. I'm gonna put this squeegee in my container of water, put the lid on this because I don't want this to dry anymore. And then I'm going to, again, just press down, especially on those areas near that are near the letters of the right, because those areas are gonna have pulled up when I pulled up the design, and I want that to be tight. But again, easy enough to fix the mistakes you make, especially on glass. Glass is a lot more forgiving, and it comes off really, really easy. And I want to know in the comments below, have you ever used Couture? Have you seen it done? What's kind of been your exposure? I'm just kind of, as I'm going along, pulling up, kind of making that really thin layer, pulling up any paste that is in excess. And I'm actually gonna do this really quick. And then this little period. And another reason that might have bled is that there might have been too much, it might not have been pressed down fully, but it also might have been too much paste. And that's why you make sure you go over it several times just to thin that out. Alright, so that's going to be it for the black. I'm going to pull this up. Oh, wait, I just noticed a small section that missed some paste on the H. I'm keeping my hand on the bottom of the transfer so I don't pull it up all the way, because obviously I still have that last word to do. And I'm gonna fix that I, or no, the S, sorry. And then, like I said, just go in, press make sure you're gonna get that perfect barrier that you need. And then I'll put the black away, and then let's get doing the white, or red. White. And your paste should always, when you're using it, should always be the consistency of yogurt, just because if it's too thin, obviously it'll leak. If it's too thick, it won't go through the silkscreen transfer. And if you haven't heard me already say this, if your paste is too thick, then you just add water, stir it around until you get that consistency you want. If it's too thin, then leave the container open for a little bit and then just keep checking back on it. And once it gets close to the right consistency, then just pull it, put the lid back on, or use it, whichever you want to do. For that Y, I just need a touch more paste. All right, let's pull it up. And there we go. We have our nice design, which I'm gonna just do a quick couple of touch-ups. Okay, so that easy actually turned out really good. So what I'm going to do is just gonna do a quick clean up here. Right there, and then the big cleanup is going to be here. And I really like using the toothpick because you have a bit more control than anything else, except maybe pencil, I don't know. And there we have it. What do you think? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my frame. Put it in. And then put my hooks back on. And there we go. All ready for display. And it fit perfectly. So yeah, there you go. I hope you have a good evening and enjoyed my little demonstration. If there's something specific you want to see me do, let me know and I'll be happy to try it out if I haven't done it already, or do it for you on camera. And yeah, have a good night.